Well, I got a lot to say about this 67 Coronet, and actually there's such a prehistory of this car on YouTube, it's like really needs to be talked about again, because it's just so cool. I never did launch the beginning of this, and so this is like getting caught in the middle. Yeah, and I have one of those missing things. I gotta put that in there. Well, anyway, and I have one of them that says 500 too. So I gotta do that. And I gotta do a lot of other things. And I gotta get rid of these Chevrolet buckets that are in this thing. And yeah, they need to go somewhere and not stay here. I don't know what they are. I'm thinking Vega maybe? I don't know. But they're GM buckets. That much I could almost guarantee you. The buddy seat's cool. That's original. Because it's a Coronet 500. And it kind of needs one of these. Which could be found at Mopars in the park. And that's why I'm making this video. And basically it's going to be flying by the seat of my pants, but what the hell. Anyway, so this is my 67 Coronet 500. Ooh, and if I can manage to get the hood open without too much of a fight. That vacuum booster needs to be sent off and rebuilt, or get a different one, which sent off and rebuilt takes time. Don't have time. I was going to paint this because I found this in my back room, which I forgot I even had, but it's period correct. Chrome valve covers, well, they're on the wrong side. Those manifolds, I looked them up, and ironically, I'm building a clone 70 Charger 446 pack RT, yeah, top banana yellow, black vinyl top, black stripe, black callouts on the hood, and I happen to need manifolds for it yet, and ironically that's what these are. So, and I have a period correct set of log manifolds. I have the correct valve covers, which I don't like those chrome things anyway, and probably would never put them on any car I own because I'm a Mickey Thompson freak, which I have countless ones of those saved up. But this is just a really, really rust-free car. I mean, this came from the West Coast. Actually, Tom at Rocket Restorations hooked me up with this, and Jamie at Dead Dodge Garage did a bunch of work on it. So, big shout out to those guys. I just got it over a year ago, and I've literally been so busy I've never touched it. All the sheet metal needs to be realigned because it's done wrong, and the door gaps are too tight on both sides. The door was never hung right, and that needs to be fixed because that's low. It needs to be up higher. As you can see, it's just wrong at the top of the window. I did fix a couple things, like the wing vent gasket was all messed up. There's a whole list of things, and the only rust on this car is right there. That's the only rust hole. I actually have a piece I could tag into there and make that go away. And clean up this whole floor really, really good and get pour 15 on it the right way instead of just, oh, let's just dump it right over the crust. So there's so many things to do, and I really wanted this to be at Mopars in the park for sale because I bought something else. Well, there's that, but that's beside the point. Yeah, this is another Coronet. But I'm not letting the cat out of the bag what I bought. Another thing that was supposed to be at Mopars in the park this weekend, and or this or that, would be my 73 California rust-free Dodge Charger. Well, this has a user quality paint job on it. I'm not crazy about what they did with the whole blackout theory, and I really wanted to get rid of that and actually paint them the same color as the body. That was my goal. That was my plan. Again, never got to it. I did put center lines on it. Nice set of center lines. and decent tires on it, and I never got there. And some kid out in California who started on this whole thing had NASCAR stickers all over this thing. It was kind of going with the whole NASCAR theme, I think. Blacked out all the chrome, which I guess that's not so bad. The hood is a piece of crap. I have 3 other ones to choose from. And they slathered black paint. Cat. Unhappy cat. Gandalf, you're an idiot. Now get away from the paint stripper. I also did a test area to see whether or not this stuff was going to come off with citrus strip, and it just peels right off there. So we're just going to go back to a chrome bumper thing and get rid of the black stuff. I'll probably do the rear bumper, but I got to tape it all off not to get this stuff on the good paint. So there's all this work to do to this car. And I actually have another car with that I bought with an incredibly nice rally dash. This has a standard dash. And even the other dash even has a dash pad. So there was that whole thing that needs attention. Don't look at that. So, yeah, well, it's kind of a cool old vintage type recover job on this seat, but this needs to be recovered again, and of course the headrests are missing. So there's another reason to go to Mopars in the Park, just to go get stuff, you know, to finish these cars, you know. And so I don't know, I don't really have the honest to God time. My shop is full of projects. Listen how nice that door shuts. Oh my God. But again, this is another car where sheet metal is maladjusted. The bottoms of the fenders are too tight compared to the top of the doors, so the front fenders need to be readjusted. And there's just not time to finish either one of these 2 cars. It's Friday. Tomorrow is Mopars in the Park. However, I could take my noble steed and just show up with this old Survivor and give it a bubble bath and make it look pretty, and it is pretty anyway. But I hate this thing going on here. I mean, really, Dave? You did that? Or did your wife do that? I don't know who did that, but, you know, I mean, using a sweatshirt is kind of an innovative idea to cover your seat when you hate green and couldn't get a split bench seat cover. So it is what it is. Actually, I would have taken the other seat cover back for this, and I would have cut it and had somebody sew it, even do it myself, and turned it into a split bench. There's a way to do that if you got any kind of sewing sense at all. I mean, knit 1, purl 2 sewing. You know, it's got new carpet in it, which I just went through hell and high water in that, because I actually have a crack in my bulkhead and probably some rust. So it leaked water on the floor, because it leaks up in this bulkhead area in here. And I did find one of the spots already which I can repair, but I just haven't had time to do everything, because I had to rip all the carpet out of this thing, the forward part of it, rip all that out this week, and take and fix that because it was full of water. It got left out in the rain. Dave said, don't leave it in the rain. You'll get wet carpet. Didn't listen. So this gets a car cover put on it. Oh, those door shuts, so nice. But anyway, I just thought this would be a cool thing to drive up there in its patina state and just take a half a day or 3/4 of a day or whatever the case may be and go up there and check out Mopars in the Park. You know, proudly represent. Yeah. So, and the sheer fact that this has the weirdest 318 that anybody's ever seen on the face of the planet, maybe I should. So maybe you guys can give me some quick feedback on what you think I should do. Because this isn't going to be a very long video. I got to get back and work on other things. I have so much boat work to do and restoration work going on, which if you caught my last video, you know that there's just stuff. Oh yeah, back to this. the list of, well, you can't go and take this car, is the water pump leaks. So that's got to go. That's got to get fixed. Let's see, valve cover switched, exhaust manifold switched, exhaust system dealt with, water pump leaks. I know Jamie did all the timing and the ignition system, so that's all good to go. It does run really surprisingly well. But it stops. I mean, don't get me wrong, but just the vacuum booster doesn't vacuum boost. So you don't have power brakes. It's like a hybrid manual brake thing going on, which if it had manual brakes, it would stop better than what it does lacking the power booster. But it doesn't pick up a vacuum leak, and that's the weird thing about it. I don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. The car has a bunch of electrical problems that need to be addressed as well. So there's that. And this. Oh, yeah, this. See that stupid little flex fan in there? Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. I have standard, it's just so small. I mean, it's a teeny little thing, and it's just ridiculous. So that needs to come off of there, and that needs to be replaced. So just with what I've said so far, this is like at least a couple of days worth of work to get that part of it done. I know it needs some bushings in the front end because they're just worn out, you know. It needs one hell of a bath. There's other electrical things that probably need some attention. Just saying. So I'm kind of screwed. I don't have something I can take up there and sell. And I really, really need to unload these cars. No, they're not going to be some giveaway hippie discount thing. They're going to be fair market value, and that's all I care about. You know, I mean, I just want to get my money back out because I have spent money on other stuff. Yeah, I have one of those. I think I mentioned that. But I'm just backed up. And I do have a 383 for this car. Everything to build a fresh 383. There's already an automatic transmission built for this car. It's fresh. It's ready to go in. I have the flex plate and the torque converter and all kinds of stuff. I have extra interior parts like you wouldn't believe. I have another car with brome door panels. You know, the brome that had the scallop thing on the side. I have one of those too, but this has up and down windows, and I haven't had a chance to make sure that they work properly. Like I said, the trunk is full of interior stuff. I mean, just packed full. I don't know how many cars they went through to get all this extra interior stuff just to have plenty. There really isn't any body plastic in this thing. I kind of went over it to see, because I'm Mr. Anal when it comes to crappy body work, and I'll find it if it's there. And really, the car's ridiculously straight. I mean, ridiculously straight. There's not even a door ding in this thing anywhere. Which that in itself is cool. However, this hood is junk. So, and the hood is actually latched for once, but it doesn't have the wiring harness. They lost that, so when I bought the other car, it had a full wiring harness for a 440 because it was a 440 car. So that's going in here, so it's got all the big block wiring harness. Like I said, there's just so much to do on this thing to make it even where someone would want to buy it, unless they want to buy a kit and caboodle kit, and then I'll give them a price they can buy. They can put whatever motor they want in it. You know, I can sell it less the motor, less the tranny. Don't care, because when I build a motor, I always can build and sell a 383 all day, every day. You know, the shop, that's what I've been doing for 50 years, so finding a buyer for a fresh 383, easy peasy. So, will you stop hissing at him? He's an idiot to begin with. Just protect your food and be nice. So, here's my dilemma. Yeah, there's some paint things that happened You know, there's a ding here and the ding there and chips here and chips there. But if I kept this car and hung on to it, I actually bought it for the idea that my son could use it as a family cruiser, you know, and just cruise around with it. Well, and he didn't mind the yellow, but he minded the big Charger. You know what? I bet if you measured this Charger and I measured that Fury'd be shorter. I could just about guarantee you, just by looking it over. I mean, look at the front end of the Fury and look at how much nose is still sticking out on the Charger. Figuring the wheelbases are going to be pretty similar. This one actually looks like a longer wheelbase than the 69 Fury. So anybody try to tell me that Fury's a boat, that is a yacht. That is a B-body. I don't know what the deal is with the 69, but I will tell you, I own a 70. That car's smaller than my 70 Fury. I want to, someday, I swear to God, I'm going to pull a tape on a bunch of cars. My 70 Charger is longer than that car. So, I'm I think my Roadrunner too, for that matter. Well, someday the two will be sitting side by side, because this has become a forever car in the family. I use it for the shop. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hop in the thing here in a few minutes and take off to town to go get stuff for Tony's boat trailer build, because I need to get that knocked in the head this weekend and get as much of it back together as possible till we get into the custom paint on the fenders, and I got to shoot his winch stand and a bunch of other things. But long story short, I just wanted to kind of introduce these two cars, and there's a full backstory on this car. There's links to what Jamie did at Rocket Restorations to get it up and running, and so there's all that out west life, and there is a complete video series of it's being transported here from Washington and picking it up, and that is on my laptop with a very crappy editing program I absolutely hate, which a buddy of mine, Blake at Bad Tree Productions, told me to get Filmora and just switch over to that for my laptop, and my life would be so much better. But again, I really want to do things with this. I just want it to be the runs and drives, turnkey, go have some fun thing for somebody, because it's so already partially there. I don't like the exhaust system. It's okay, but I'm a MagnaFlow exhaust kind of guy. So I really wanted to swap over and do a complete different exhaust system. By the way, there's a guy on eBay that has this piece of fender trim, except he thinks it's gold plated, and the only one left on the face of the planet. So we're not buying that. So somebody else can buy that. But again, even just the sheer fact that this car has all of the side moldings and they're not all smashed to smithereens. Yeah, there's some bad putting screws in spots that shouldn't be, but I know guys that fix that stuff. You know, it's crazy what you can do with a TIG welder. I mean, I'm just saying, I've seen some nutty stuff go on. They're expensive, oh hell yeah, but again, just giving this thing a walk around, the two walk around. 73 Charger and a 67 Coronet 500. Yes, this is a original Coronet 500 with all of the right stuff. Is that the original motor? I cannot tell you. I wanted to get to that too. I wanted to put it up on the hoist and go to that. I wanted to go over the whole underside of the car. So there will be a full video segment on this thing going forward. And I am quite positive that this will get its seat time on the hoist too, because I want to do photographs of the whole underside of the car when I put it up on Facebook. And it's in front of the hoist stall, so guess what? You're stupid, cat. So that's where this is headed, inside of there. I have other things afoot inside of here, so let's wander into the shop for a minute. Oh yeah, I know. Cats. Freaking cats. Well, anyway, I've been kind of working on some things here, and I am really behind on things. I recreating my whole engine work area where I build engines, and I got a guy making me a nice metal plate for my head. No, I mean for my bench top, so I can get rid of that because I don't like it. I've been trying to reorganize all my Hemi parts for my Hemi build, which some are up there, some are over there, and some are down there. So get organized and get everybody together, and don't mind the mess. There's lots of messes around here. Fun fact, a guy screwed up a motorcycle fuel tank and that I painted for 35, 40 years ago, maybe? I don't know, 35 years ago. Anyway, and welded it and cooked the paint. So he said, well, can you match that? I'm going like, I don't think so, because when I did this piece of artwork, I was really high at the time, I think. I don't remember. I did black with russet pearl over black into clear, laid out the flames, then did frost blue pearl on and russet pearl on the white pearl. I don't know if you can even see it through a camera, but I did white. Wait a minute, what did I do? Okay, so rather than just do tips and things like that, what I did is I used pearls, russet pearl and frost blue pearl, to accent the flame edges. And again, the camera won't pick it up, but if you take and put this thing in the sunshine, dude, this thing pops like you wouldn't believe. And we did the whole Harley that way. It was a Sportster that a buddy of mine had redone, and he had this Mustang tank on it, and it was gorgeous, but he's pretty much lost interest in this. So basically I'm going to fix it up, and I'm going to just put it on display is down here, because he went back to a Sportster fuel tank for his bike and went a whole different direction, so he doesn't even really want it anymore. And he said he would just hang it on his wall, so I might as well have it hanging on mine. So there's that. And since we're doing all kinds of artsy things, yes, I was a Hughes Engines rep for this area till I got pissed at them because they weren't taking care of the people that I really cared about. I had problems getting parts, even as some of the guys said that they bought stuff from me. They called Hughes and they were treated very poorly, and they were really upset about that. And I called and bitched, and they got mad at me, and I got mad at them, and well, there's that. Hey, save a tree. Support your local drag strip. So, yeah, I used to have this flag flying on a pole that was on my race trailer. I have a 2-car race trailer, which is going to be my over-the-road rig at some point in time, with a living quarters in the front and room for 2 cars if you need be. But anyway, long story. There's 3 chunks here sitting here, and I don't even remember the gear ratios in these, but they're all posies. And as a matter of fact, one of them is a set of 390 gears, or maybe those are under there, but that's for the Roadrunner when that comes back in. The headers got to go because they stuck out too far. This engine stand sucks because it hangs so bad. I have to block that block up. I don't like it. Probably going to get rid of that one and get something different, or fix it, or do something to it, because I really hate it. I have other engine stands. As a matter of fact, speaking of engine stands, this is the engine that's going to be put in the Roadrunner. And I dug all that out, and I need to take this all apart. It's going to be a video all by itself. I'm going to tear it all down because it was built by somebody else, and I don't trust it. If it was built by Mopar Joe, I would trust it. I love that dude. He's a cool guy. He's got his poop in a group, and I wish him all the best in the world. As a matter of fact, there's so many names getting dropped here. Fine, Uncle Tony. And Uncle Tony is going to get involved in this. He doesn't know it yet. Well, actually, he does. But he's going to be involved in, we're going to be two old guys, because we're 2 years apart in age. We're going to be two old guys, and we're going to put together this thing. And we're not going to make it a fire-breathing monster. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's already making 2,500 horse before it kissed a rod goodbye and did things. No windows, but it did things. Bad things. So we'll get into that, because Jamie, I talked to Jamie at Dead Dodge Garage, and he said that I should do a video on the carnage inside the block, because there was carnage. But it was making 2,500 horsepower at the time. It was running in a blown drag boat, doing 200 miles an hour at 1,000 feet in a boat. So if you want to wrap your mind around that, this is a Mooneyham 671, and this is, I believe this is 34 tooth. And the Mooneyham folks out in California, the blower service company, said they don't even have a 99 tooth in stock and haven't even seen one in decades. That's what that is. So that means that this blower is so overdriven, they're getting all of everything out of that blower. And it's nylon stripped, so it's real tight. And the blower is in excellent shape. I went through the blower and checked everything out, and it all is, whoever had this, I would guess probably just had the blower serviced before the motor took a poo. And I did add some things to this. I went with the Enderley injector hat, and I went with a gas barrel valve, and I might switch that from that to E85. I'm still on the fence. My friends are telling me leave it on pump gas, because I'm detuning the piss out of it to 800 horse, and leave it on pump gas and just octane boost the hell out of it, which I do have an octane booster I use. It does raise whole numbers, and I have a cocktail sauce for that sort of thing. Anyway, getting back to things and stuff to do. So I just wanted to point that out as a part. I do have the 383 block is put away right now, so in a different building, but all this stuff on this bench pretty much is all the guts to that 383 motor. I have a brand new aluminum intake I could put on there. I do have factory intakes, Carter AFB or ABS, old school stuff. I could go either way with that. Was going to run this old cam in there. This is a purple shaft Chrysler cam, but I don't know that I'm going to bother acid dipping that, cleaning it up. I don't know how good it is, but I did save all the lifters so I could reuse it for a stock application build. That you're just going to drive it. You're not going to pound on it. You're not going to drag race thing. No, not something like that. So if I was going that direction, I would never put a used cam in a motor. But you can put used cams in motors. If you've got the lifters and you kept all the lifters sorted and they're with the cam lobes, it's just like it never happened. You can take them out, put them back in. If there's very little cam wear, you can go through that. Of course, I've seen a bazillion camshafts in my career, so, you know, I know cam wear. And actually, to be honest with you, them old cams, they're a lot better than what you buy today. The cams are okay, and the hardnesses are okay, so they're just going to dispel that garbage. But I'm just going to tell you, the crown on the lifters, just really the very poor machining, and there's been a bazillion videos on that stuff, so there's really no point to going after that. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about at this point, was the mopars and the park thing and what I'm going to do. And if you guys think I should, yeah, that's going in my gold Coronet. So when I get time, and when I get time is July, because June's booked. Actually, June and July are both booked at this point, heavily, but we're going to get there. So if you guys know of anybody who would have any interest in either one of these two cars, go ahead and get a hold of me. I'm going to link my email, and it'll be in here somewhere, and probably right below this bumper. That looks a good spot. Anyway, so if you guys want to go ahead and get a hold of me by email, if you have any interest in these cars going forward, I've already rattled off the list of things that are going to be fixed. If I have time, I will do more. But frankly, I've got to draw a line in the sand because the shop is horrendously overbooked. I am a one-man band. And since my son decided to see how sharp a skill saw blade was on Memorial Weekend and cut 2 fingers off, I don't think he's going to be helping me much anytime soon. Although he's been up here helping me. One hand, but, well, he's doing his thing. So, should I take this beautiful, patinaed to death car and drive up to Mopars in the park? Or is it so hideous, as we can discuss and get peaceful negotiations over a cup of coffee and what the price is going to be on these, because I don't talk about that on YouTube. But if you see it on Facebook Marketplace, then you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. Fair, but not free. They're rust-free cars, dude. They're West Coast rust-free cars. I don't buy anything else, usually. Exception to the rule. That was my buddy Dave's car. He needed the money. Long story short, he had a deer with his 71 Challenger and smoked the hell out of the front end. Right after, as a matter of fact, just maiden voyage. Shut it! Enough! Jeez. Anybody got cats that love to fight? What is their deal? Yeah. So since I babbled through all this and bored you all to tears, sorry for that. Just 37 minutes you won't get back in your life. But again, the whole point was to show the two cars, get some feedback on whether or not I should appear at Mopars in the park with this old relic. Because I'm on the fence. I could stay here and work too. I got tons of work to do. So, plus this is a ranch, and there is ranch things to be done. Field work to do, pastures to be mowed, and broken mowers. Don't even get me started. Broken tractors. Well, not lately. Well, there is one, but anyway, back at the ranch. Now we're at 38 minutes and 35 seconds, so I'm going to shut the hell up, which will make everybody's day. Feedback. I need feedback. I need buyers. So, take care, guys. If you like this, always like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of really cool paint work this year. And I also wanted to make sure that, well, we got boat builds, and we got car builds, we got engine builds. We got just so much stuff going on here. It's going to be every potential recreational toy is going to be addressed this year. Probably even, I might even do some work on my old Harley and try to ride that around, which I've pretty much given up on riding motorcycles. 4 wheels under me seems a lot safer too. So, especially the way people drive. Again, too much yammering, so I'll let you guys go. Again, if you like what I do, stay tuned.